So now that we have the assistant on board, and the very first thing that we would want the assistant to do in real life scenario is to most likely find a form such that they would have to fill about data, the first name, last name, date of birth, etc. However, with 390, that information would be captured automatically just by using the about data section. And where is that? For me, in my account, when I signed up, I have those information here for myself, and I can choose to update the biodata here whenever I want. And if I do that, it will ask me my general information. We've already created the regular information that you most likely need from a new member of your team. And based on these several categories, you could have all of that here, and emergency contacts, health information, and compensation. This part, I'll show you how this really works. And in the case of my assistant, they could also come into their own account here. Remember, it's empty here, and they could just come to theirs and set up their information. This information has been captured upon sign up, so they don't need to update that anymore. And they just need to come here. So this is a place where a new staff comes to. They just come to update biodata, then they can put all of the necessary information, the personal email, work email, government number, mother maiden name, state of origin, anywhere in Nigeria currently, then nationality being Nigeria, then the addresses, they could also put in their house, current home address, permanent home address, emergency contacts, and health information. So whatever they decide here, then compensation, we've already connected this to Paystack, that's a payments provider here in the country. So they could just choose any of their banks and ask their account number so that you would not have to necessarily be asking them for their account details when it's time for payroll. And so everything really is connected here. So again, to round this off, this is the first thing a new member of your staff would have to do, or your colleagues. This is the first thing you have to share with them to do to update this information. And when they do that, that information would come to this part of your own system under, I need to install an app for that. Let me just go to the App Store. It's called Employees here. Let me just install that for myself. And when I do that, I would have it under the HR module here. Okay, there's a new module now called HR, and there's employees on that. So if I click on that, I would see, okay, I don't have job roles installed. Okay, so in some cases, some of these things are dependent on each other. So job roles is another thing here that I need to install. So job roles is in case you need to hire a new person for a role, you come here and create a role. I'll show you all of those things that we have. So now I have job roles installed now, and I could just go to employees. And when I do that, I can now see the two people in the organization, myself and the other person, that's my assistant. And if I click on the assistant, I'll see the same information that they are seeing on their accounts here. And not only that, I would also see their timesheets, their check-ins, their clock-ins. They too would be able to see this information on their end, just the timesheets. All right, and they can access the others too on the other parts. I'll show you how timesheets works as well. So in this case, for every single employee in your organization, you'd be able to go through their details here and just click through to know, okay, if possible, any information they've provided, you'd see it here on your own employees section. Okay, and let's see, when it comes to job roles, I'll show you how job roles would work. So you can assign a job role to the person. Job roles are different from the roles that you invited them with. So I can still use the same thing and define the salary base here. That's it. And so the reason for job role is if I need to hire a new person and I need to create a job post and share it, I can just easily select a job role and would populate it with the JD, which is the job description automatically. So if I say this salary is 600,000, and I say some amazing things to do, okay, I've updated that information here, and that's all. I could just add the job role. Once I do that, again, when I come to this module, I'll show you how that works. Every employee under this job role will be listed here. Currently 0. So if I go back to employees and I go to my assistant, right here, I can manage and update their information. I can also do this on my end as well. Then go to compensation. The pay would be based on the job role, which is employment here. So remember, we just selected this, we just created this executive assistant job role. So if I click on that, I can choose whenever their start date was. So let's say it was yesterday, and employment is full time. Employment number, if you want to give them something automatically, unless you want to, if I'm O1, then supervisor can be me. And once I do all of this, compensation automatically will be filled up based on the amounts you put in the job role. Then the period of payments is a monthly, and their bank. They've not updated the bank yet, but in your case, I'm sure they would have updated the bank. So you just see the information here directly, and I update that. So when I do that, the employee's information will be updated based on their ID number, their salary. They've not updated this bank names yet, but when this person does that on their end, right here, they'll be able to update that information. I think it should be under compensation here. All right, so that's the how biodata works and how you acting in the place of HR or an HR personnel can just come to employees and gain insights about every single person in the organization. I've not done that for this person yet, so but basically that's how that works. Okay.